What is up, guys, and welcome to a chilly episode of Down South Off-Road and Outdoor. Now, you can see we're at Mike's Fabrication refinishing again because Lagatha, we got some goodies for her. So the first thing we're going to be installing today is the Molle Platform Solutions overhead JK panel. Once we get this installed, then I'll be installing a Midland radio, but that'll be a different video, so you have to check that out. Anyway, let's get this thing opened up. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so these overhead panels for the Jeep JK, it's just going to give me a whole Molle system that I can attach all kinds of things to. So one of the things I'll be attaching is our Just In Case Rescue ouch pouch. This just makes it really easy to get to your first aid. If I was in a wreck, rolled over, pinned in the front seat, I could still reach my first aid kit from where I'm sitting. And we're also going to mount that radio there. But when you get it, this thing is packed super well. What you can't see is there was already another layer of plastic on this thing that I've already started ripping off. So let me get this thing opened up real quick. All right, guys, I got this thing opened and it is absolutely beautiful. You can see back here towards the back, you've got the Molle Platform Solutions logo. It is very beefy. You would think it would be thin, but you've got square tubing on each side. So it is a chunky piece, but all the coating looks good. No scratches, no imperfections. Nice. Let's get this thing mounted. It should be pretty easy. It looks like there's only 3 screws here and 2 here. So hopefully it's pretty straightforward. So to get started, guys, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pop out your hardtop panels. This isn't required. I've seen people online do it without, but it just makes moving around a lot easier. So we're just gonna pop them out. All right, guys, again, you don't have to take this all the way out, but we're doing it just because it makes it easier to work. So we're just gonna drop this whole piece of plastic off. Like I said, just so we can work. All right, so we've got our visors off and we're just gonna pop that down. And so now we can get all through there if we need to do wire, things like that. All right, so you can see the back has a flat piece that's gonna sit right on top, like so. And then the front will go around. You've got to kind of feed it through some of the wires in there for my light box. But so it's going to go in there just like that. And then that goes in there.
Right about in that area.
So the one thing you want to make sure, guys, is when you're putting this on without your hardtop in there, you want to make sure that the cutouts for your handles are actually going to be over where your handles are.
That's where we'll put the tops back on to test fit.
So don't tighten it all down snug until you check where it's sitting to make sure you can take your hard tops out when this thing is installed. All right, so we put the tops back in just so that we can see where this thing is going to line up. And once he gets it sit where he wants it, that is where we're going to put our screws in.
Now turn that handle and see if it clears everything. I mean, it's snug.
Yep.
But
that clears.
it didn't hit anything, did it?
I don't think so. Now, with that being said, he's just going to mark these 3 holes.
If I could hold it still long enough.
Here.
Now work that handle again and make sure. Oh, it didn't come up just a fuzz.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Right there?
Yep. So you're just going to mark those holes. And that's where our screws are going to be. And honestly, guys, that is about it for this install.
I've got 2 more holes back here and that's it.
Yep. All right. And so we're going to take the hardtops back off just to be able to get to those holes in the rear easier. All right, because we're going to be drilling into metal for these 3 screws, we just used the plastic that the unit was wrapped in to cover my dash and hopefully catch most of the metal shavings. So just a precaution. But that's work. So you can see we've got all 3 of our holes drilled there. No big whoop, not filled with tons of shavings. This is easy peasy. Now we're gonna go ahead and mount this front section before we remove the hard tops and get the back all squared away. And Mike, show me one of those screws. This hardware is heavy duty, and that's actually what came with the unit, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, these are big boys. So this thing is not going anywhere. They want to make sure that.
And you want to make sure you use the large ones in the front. There's some smaller ones for the rear. I drilled, I think, a 9/32 hole. That way these still made most of their own way.
Gotcha.
And bite good. So we're just gonna leave those a little loose.
Right. So they're not tight. You'll notice he left those heads out a little bit, because now we're gonna take the hard tops off and line up the rear. All right, so we're just lining up the rear. So what I'm doing is I just reach through and pull that over that way. So that still opens just fine. Yeah, nice. So I think it's gonna be fine sitting there.
Then we'll pull them out and mark the rears and blast some holes in the rear.
Let's do it. So for the back, I'm just gonna mark these holes. So you can see it goes straight into metal there as well. It's not bolting into plastic or anything like that. So it's a good, solid mount. For the rear, he sends you self-tapping. So typically we would still drill those out, but we don't have a bit that small.
We might have to at least get it started so we don't knock the...
There you go. Not too bad. And we even got an extra here. All right. Guys, this thing isn't going anywhere. It's nice and tight. So mounting a radio on here and first aid, things like that. You could probably do fire extinguishers and still be fine. And so what he was doing now is just snugging up those front. All right. How freaking cool does that look in here, guys? It's pretty awesome.
There you go.
All right, guys, so one of the things I got this for is I want to use this as storage. So one of the things we're going to be putting up here is our first aid kit. We've got a big first aid kit that we carry, but if I was in a wreck and I was pinned in the front seat, I couldn't get to that back there. So I wanted something quick that I could just pull off if I needed it in a hurry. This is the Just In Case Rescue Ouch Pouch. So I'm going to use these Molle panels, and I think I'm just going to hook it maybe here. So Molle panels, all you do is you think of yourself as weaving. These panels make it impossible to come off. So I'm just gonna basically, I'll go over this one. When I come through this side, I'll actually go under this piece and then vice versa. So it's gonna go a series of over-unders. It makes this impossible to accidentally come off. Once it's here, it's gonna be here until I don't want it to be. So I'll show you what the finished product looks like. So when I'm talking about weaving, guys, you can see I've got it up over the panel here, then it's gonna come under, and then this is going to go right back through here. So I just need to push this side through, and I can't film and do that. So let me, all right. So you can see we've got the clips up above the Molle, and now they just snap. So with that ouch pouch now, this stays here all the time. If I have an emergency, it sticks there with Velcro, and I can just pull this thing down. If it's full of stuff, I can cinch it up so that it never falls down. So it'll be there when we need it. Then my radio's here. So I've got all this extra space. Give me some ideas, guys. What would you attach to your Molle Solutions panel? Should I get a small fire extinguisher? What would you put up here? I want to fill it up with junk. All right, guys, There is the finished product. Got the first aid kit on the back and the Midland MXT 275 on the front. That is the Molle Platform Solutions overhead panel. I've got everything mounted up to it, so I've got my first aid kit here. What's cool about that, say if I have an issue and I need to get it down in a hurry, I'm just gonna unhook it, rip it down. The Molle system has allowed me to keep this here all the time. So when I'm finished, I literally just stick it back up there and it's good to go. We've got the Midland MXT 275 mounted up here as well. And here's my mic. For right now, I am just laying it up here until I change out the rear and put a clip. And then hopefully I'm just gonna, clip it, something like that right there. So that it'll be up out of the way and I can just grab it. But so that's a future state, but for right now, this is fine. I absolutely love the way this thing looks in here. It's super, super cool. Super easy to install. Literally took 8 to 10 minutes. Take the top off, it makes it easier. Take the tops out. Super well-made product, very strong, not going anywhere. It's definitely one of my favorite things I've added to the Jeep. If you look, it just looks so cool in here. I feel like I'm in a cockpit of a jet or something. But I've loved everything that we've ever gotten from Molle Platform Solutions. So if you don't know who they are, I think they're out of High Point or somewhere near High Point in North Carolina. So check them out. Nice American-made local products. Give them a check out. And then, of course, Midland. But if you like the overhead panel, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you're using something different in your Jeep JK, be sure to let me know as well, because I always like looking at other stuff. I hope you like this install. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.